Hey gang, Carl White here, broadcasting here in the studios today in the secret headquarters for the Mortgage Marketing Animals. You're listening to Loan Officer Freedom, the coolest mortgage podcast in the industry because we get the coolest guys. Today, I'm very humbled to have as my guest. I feel the room kind of shaking right now from the thunderous applause in the audience in the background. Mr. Nathan Carver himself. Nate Carver, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, Carl. Thank you.
You are doing great. So, first of all, give us so I know who you are, and I think a lot of people know you are. But if somebody's kind of new to the scene, banker, broker, kind of give us a basic lay of the land. Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, I'm a loan officer and I write loans.
Yes, you do.
I used to say and I got rid of that. And I love writing loans, helping people buy homes. I do. It
Yeah.
is.
Where are you
Uh,
located at?
I'm up in North Texas,
Okay.
just above Dallas. Is where I live most of the year, and then I do a little bit of time down in Florida, where I got where I started. Right.
Yeah. All right. Are you from Florida?
Yeah, originally Pensacola.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I've got some lot of family there, a lot of things owned by people with same last name kind of stuff, and you're like, we're not close.
Yeah, yeah. I did
They
not
would
know
charge
that.
me
So
full
you're from the
price.
Panhandle.
Yeah, yep.
Interesting.
My family goes way back up in the Crestview, Pensacola area.
Yeah.
So
My favorite part of Florida, actually, it's by far, I mean, Florida's a beautiful place. Up there in the Panhandle is the prettiest. I think the only reason why it's not more popular than what it is there's no great airport. It's all little small regional airports. But anyway, hey, let's get right
yeah,
into the meat of this because this is way too cool. So we do a thing every morning called the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, open to the public. Breakfast Club, loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. It's free. It's our gift to the industry. And you're on there oftentimes, bringing bits of wisdom. And today it was like, oh, by the way, Nate Carver's having another pretty good month.
another yeah,
Yeah. So
consecutively.
this is not a fluke. So let's let's back play a little bit. So last year at this time, what were you closing last year at this time?
This time last year, 0.
Okay, all right, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. We've had those, and that was kind of like you had a couple months like that, if I
Yeah, it was
remember.
a string of months like that, like 8. And so
Eight. So you had eight in
8
a row
8
of
in a row.
goose egg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. So now your last, let's say, I don't know, the last 3 months now. If we fast forward here, how's that been?
Phenomenally better. So 7, 9, 10 in a row, consecutively getting better each month, adding to I guess, the unit count.
So
Yeah,
seven units 90 days ago, 9 units last month, and 10 units for
yeah,
this month. And I'm going to
yeah,
timestamp this. This is December of 2023, which
mhm,
historically December is kind of a slower month, industry wide, certainly more so than June, July, or August
right.
for sure. So, all right. So we've gone from 0 to 10. So we can't say that's an X% increase because, and I'm not making fun of this, but literally based on zero, it's an infinite increase in business, right? I mean, we're talking about going from
Right.
0 to 10. That's a drastic difference. What's your average loan amount up there, Nate?
300.
300. So let's just say, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. Let's just say on average, and we use this number here on the podcast, that on average you make about $3,000 per loan, give or take, right? Some more, some less, depends upon what's going on. But let's just say, give or take, $3,000 per loan. So that would be, if we do it times 10, that would be 30 grand for the month. For the month,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if we look at last year at the time, it was 0 grand for the month. Which,
Yeah.
dude, that's got to be stressful. Like, and we've all been there, right? But describe what zero looks like a couple months in a row.
Sweating where you're going to live next
Yeah.
or not live next. And, you know, the bills pile up, and, you know, people that love you, care about you, start questioning what you're doing. And, what are you going to, and then they start asking, what are you going to do next? And that's terrifying. So
Yeah.
that is, you know, I guess then at the time I was 49. So, you know, you think about, well, what will I do next? And so I, I just was, that was terrifying, and I was not going to be homeless. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, that was the, you know, that's, you know, forecasting, just keep doing nothing. Um, that would be the end result, and it wouldn't take long, you know.
So now if we fast forward here a little bit, and again, I'm just using this hypothetical $3,000 for closing. So you've gone from zero to now 21,000 for 1 month. The next month, 27,000. The next month, 30,000. Tell me what that feels like.
Oh, that's phenomenal, Carl. One of my number one goal is to go debt free. I've been saving. You teach us to save 25% of our net. I've been 25% of my gross. And so,
Good for you.
and then I've just been just doing a snowball into my debt. And I look at 2024 and I know I'm going to be debt free this year. Um, it's just a burden personally. I know there's different strategies on all that stuff, but personally, peace of mind is all I want.
Yeah.
And from there, big dreams like the sailboat. I will own that outright one day, when I make that purchase.
And
And,
just as we're doing this, some people are watching it on YouTube, some are listening.
oh,
So Nate and I have a Zoom meeting, and we can see each other. And he's got a big model of a sailboat behind him. So when you said I'm going to own that, you were pointing to the sailboat behind you. So you're going to get your sailboat, huh?
oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
was born for the sea, so
You look like
the coast.
you look like a sailor. You do,
I thank you.
and I mean that as a
Yeah,
compliment. You do.
I
You
take it
do.
as a compliment.
Yeah,
I
you look
do.
like you look like a somebody was destined to spend some time on a sailboat. So, all right. So we did the before and after. Now let's talk about the during for a little bit.
Okay.
So, first of all, tell me, dude, it's a remarkable story, Nate, and it's somewhat humbling to me that man, you stuck with it. So here you are, had a long dry spell. Um,
Mhm.
what kept you from tapping out? Like, how, like, talk to me about that.
Fear. Gosh, failure. The fear of failure. It just was a huge motivator for me. I hung on to things like I've closed loans for people that have never owned homes before, and and clearing that pathway for them, how I personally felt on their close date.
Yeah.
I hung on to stuff like that, you know, hang on to the wins, and then let those keep you focused. And then uh, determination. I met people like you included, and that were at a level or in the business that I thought that's where I want to go. Um, and I thought I can do this. And coaching certainly helped me with that. Um, and I don't know. There's people I've made promises to, and I'm not gonna fail them. I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna let them down. And
Mhm.
you know, of course, the sailboat's my personal dream, but there's other people counting on me.
Mhm.
Um, as a loan officer, personally and in the business, my paycheck, you know, is a witness or testimony to other people's getting paychecks also. And so, you know, and those are huge motivators for me. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at on that.
So what? So when you're closing 10, what action items, give me one, two, maybe three, what's some action items that's moved the needle? So obviously there's been some drastic change
Mm.
in your day-to-day routine to go from 8 months of goose egging, right? Which a lot of people are experiencing right now. What a
Yeah.
lot of people aren't experiencing right now is 7, then 9, then 10. What are you doing now that last year you weren't doing?
Okay. So I'm do Mortgage Marketing Animals offers call stars, and I do call stars.
Just
And
briefly, and this is not meant to be an ad,
okay.
but like briefly describe. Tell me what Call Stars is.
Yeah, so it is 2 hours a day, Monday through Thursday, that I am blocked off to doing nothing but outbound prospecting calls to specific groups of people, whether it's qualified real estate agents, my database calls, calls to my uh, clients that are closing in the next 30 days, or clients that are looking, that are approved and looking. These are people that I call weekly on specific days. I have great conversations with them. You know, uplift their real estate agent, encourage them in their pursuit of their home. And then I ask them for business. The 3x3 and just ask is how I hang up. And it is, do you have any friends, family, or coworkers in the next year looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Can I count on you to let me and your real estate agent know? And that's how I hang up. And they repeat that back to me. So and that's when I know I've won, because I've planted that seed and I've watered it. Um, I was not good at this at first, and I have listened and done a lot of coaching, and I'm pursuing that, and I'm following in the footsteps of people that have done it before me, and you know, I'll sit at their feet every day if I can, and learn from them.
So what is it? So basically, it's just prospecting, right? Doing
Yep.
your phone calls. So it's a funny thing. We all know that works. We all see it happen, work again and again and again, over and over. What is it about? Why do you think so few actually do it, even though 100% of people know it works and know it's effective? Why do you think they avoid it?
I think we're comfortable deep down in our fear,
Mm,
unwilling to let go of that and see what can be.
mm,
Um, yeah, I think that's a hard one. I always think about they used to read this thing in high school. Pro the salesperson or against the salesperson is how they spun the education of that book. I like literature. Anyway, they would teach different lessons from that book, and I've had two different people teach me different things on that, which were completely opposite. And I think the salesman, you've got to latch on to the unknown or the future instead of hanging on to the negatives, the no's. I know someone's going to tell me no in the business a lot.
mhm,
Um, I could dwell on that, or I can go for the person, which I'm the target is that one person that's going to say yes to me, because that one person says yes is going to change everything, whether it's a real estate agent,
yeah,
an attorney, a builder, a banker. There's just so many neat things happening right now in my business because I dared to call somebody that I did not know, um, and go and just ask them,
yeah.
how's your day? Let's talk about that. What's your goal in life? And then, hey, got any business? It's
Mm.
exciting. It is super exciting.
So, what would you say? Like, I saw something. I saw somebody post something earlier today, which frankly prompted me to give you a call. And they said, "Hey, you need to be doing uh, what they say here. Uh, you need to be doing new things, modern things, not the same old call 50 realtors on Monday begging them for business. What would you say to something like that?
Oh, I would totally disagree with that. You need to be picking up your phone and you need to be calling people and asking for the business, and get over yourself. And all the tech stuff comes second. I have tech, but it is second. The AI stuff is fantastic, and I'm looking forward to what that's going to bring to my business.
I can't remember if I've told this story here, but this just reminds me when I was in my early 20s, I think I was 20, 21. I had a roommate, and and he would park his car about a half a mile from the house and about a half a mile from where he worked because he wasn't making payments on it. And it was the repossessing people were looking to repossess it. And so he had to hide it. So he had to hide it at work and he had to hide it at home. And and this was up in Virginia. So sometimes it would be raining, sometimes it'd be snowing, sometimes it'd be hot, and he's like walking half a mile back and forth to his car, both at home and at work, um, in the rain, in the cold, and in the snow. And I told him one time, I said, Bob, if you spent the same amount of time uh, working that you spend avoiding the very activity that if he was working, you wouldn't have to do this. Like he spent more time avoiding the activity than he would have done if it had just done the activity to pay off the car. And I also
Yeah.
see that I see that so often in loan officers is they spend all this time and energy of doing all these things to avoid the very one simple thing that gets the best results, like always and ever. And it's just an interesting, us human beings, we're an interesting study, aren't we, Nate?
We are. I don't
Yeah.
have to perfect being lazy. It comes natural. And you're right. I when I time blocked uh that time to make those outbound calls, the prospecting calls, is when I knew my business was changing and it was going to
Yeah.
change. And I had no doubt about that. Um, Everything else goes after that. It's all important, you know, but that is the most important thing is that outbound prospecting. Um, and it's only 4 days a week, technically. I do a little
Yeah.
bit more, but it
Yeah.
get hooked on it. One yes tends to get you really excited for the next yes. So I tend to do a little bit more than 2 hours of
So, so
blocking.
what's so what's next, man? What's on your radar?
There is some tech that I'm working on. I stay up late at night and working on the weekends that I'm trying to learn with the AI component,
Yeah.
and that's an implementation that's going to augment my next phone call in what happens. Way I understand it, what happens with those communications. I've got some obviously the debt snowball. I'm really excited about
Yeah.
what comes after that because then I could start saving
Yeah.
for sailboats and some other charities, some charities that I'm involved in. Um, I've got some more calls to make today, and so I'm going to make those. That's next.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the
Hey, well, let
immediate
me ask you
next.
this. So we talked about what you're doing, just as we kind of wrap this up. You talked about what you're doing, activities that you're doing now that you weren't doing a year ago. Is there anything that you was doing a year ago that was not resulting in anything that like you told me what you started doing. What if anything have you stopped doing?
I spent a lot of time, a whole lot of time with people that were not qualified real estate agents.
Yeah.
Um, I trimmed that down to I still spend time with non-qualified real estate agents that aren't, but it's not it's only it's in specific events, like on a Friday is when I will talk to them, and it's not yeah, I took all of those that I had filled up and made busy work out of because I was calling them but they had no business. And I could tell that they were getting embarrassed, upset, and frustrated with me. So I moved those to a specific day where I do reach out to them once a month. That cleaning up who I'm targeting and pursuing from last year when I was just shotgun blasting it, and I could say, "Oh, I'm busy." I
Yeah.
stopped being busy and I started being deliberate.
I like that. That's the quote of the day. Stop being busy and start being deliberate.
That's it.
And that's good stuff right there, buddy. Um, hey, one more thing. So closing 7, then 9, then 10. How does it like? How do you handle that kind of a file flow? Like, what do you like? Do you have help, or do you have an assistant, or?
I have an assistant, a loan processor. As soon as I lock the loan, I'll make sure that loan is best to my abilities as a loan officer at the lock, and I hand that off to my loan assistant, and she runs with it all the way to closing. I only step back into that file if there's like two issues, right? Cash close or an appraisal issue.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, I trust her 100%. And she knows I trust her. And if I'm stepping into it, she gets upset at me. But I've learned just to let go. As soon as I
Yeah.
lock it, I'm hands off, and I'm on. I don't look back. It's in the pipeline. Good.
Is she under your roof, or does she work some another location?
Another location. I've only
Yeah.
met her on Zoom. And
Isn't
that's
that
it.
funny?
Isn't it great?
Yeah. I tell you,
And just don't even worry about it.
yeah, it's yeah, the way things are handled as far as like remotely is do you go into an office every day, or do you work out of your house?
I work out of my house.
Yeah, me too. Most of the time, I do the same thing. Hey, anything I should have asked you that I didn't, Nate? Did we cover this? Dude, I could talk to you for an hour or more, another hour. But is there something I should have asked you that I didn't?
No, but there is a gift coming your way. It is a gift to you in the industry from Devin Dubuque and myself and David, one of his partners. We put together something fun that you're going to enjoy. I think it comes out tomorrow, but I'll let you know. It's
Well, I'm
little,
I'm looking I'm looking forward to seeing it, buddy.
yeah, it's something special. So
Well,
it'll
Nate, I have to
be
tell you,
digital.
I appreciate it. And Nate, I have to tell you, brother, you're something special.
Oh, thank you.
And watching your journey has just been an amazing gift for me. And you've been such an inspiration to so many. And I just wanted to have you here on the podcast to share you to the world a little bit. You're a good dude, man. It's an honor to know you.
Thank you, Carl.
Yeah, good dude. All right, Mr. Nate Carver himself out of Northern Texas. And hey, thanks for listening to this episode. Hey, Nate, if somebody wants to reach out to you, is there like social media? Like, is there how does somebody reach out to you?
Yeah, natecarver.com is my website. Um, they'll take them right to me.
Nate Carver's
NAT.
NATECARVER.com.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, Nate. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Bye bye. All right, good stuff, Nate. Hey, if you'd like to find out who does Nate call on a daily basis, who does he call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? What does that look like? And then the layout between him and his loan partner of who does what and when does he turn it over. Would love to walk you through that. If you just go to freedomclubdemo.com, freedomclubdemo.com, that's freedomclubdemo.com, and would love to walk you through it. No charge. It'll be a very, very good use of your time. Give yourself a gift, freedomclubdemo.com, and we'll see you on the inside. We'll talk to you when you call in, and we'll see you on the next episode of Loan Officer Freedom. Thanks again, everybody. Bye bye.